Okay, now we're in the main field at the Asheville Botanical Gardens. There's the gazebo way down the end where we used to have kirtan in the park. A couple of my older videos feature the kirtans. Way off there in the distance behind the trees is some more new buildings at UNC. Looks like more dormitories. That building wasn't here the last time I was on the property. And then as we pan across the whole field, we can see the whole panorama of the main field here. And the bridge that we just came over is right there. And now we're going to go up one of the trails. Alright, so now we're up at the upper trail here at the Asheville Botanical Gardens. And there's a lot of cool stonework everywhere along the trail. Rock sculptures and rock benches and stone walls. And they used to have more signage identifying the plants that are just on the trail. But again, because of COVID, they probably lost a lot of staff, and they probably can't maintain the property as well as they used to. So it's raining pretty good now. We're not feeling it so much because we're in the forest, we're in the woods. But as soon as we gotta get out of the woods back into the field, we're gonna have to make a dash to the car because of the heavy rain that's coming down now. There's a cool little arched seating area with a stone bench and a lot of big, beautiful old pine trees, and also some hardwoods, some oak trees and some maples on the property. We're almost to the far end of the botanical garden, just up ahead. Giant multi-story, 6-7-story dormitories all along the border of this property. And the campus goes quite a ways in that direction. It's a giant campus with, I believe, something like 25,000 students. So yeah, now we're almost at the far edge of the botanical gardens. This would be, I guess, the northwest boundary. And there's a special building up ahead. We're going to go up to this building and read the plaque. I can't remember what the building is significant for some reason, but I can't remember what it was. It's a log type cabin. It's very old with chinks in between the logs. That material there is called chinking. It's like kind of like a mortar or concrete mixture. Oh, here's the plaque. Okay, so this building is dedicated to Hubert H. Hayes, HHH. Born 1901, died in 1964, so he's only 63 years old. Author, playwright, actor, folklorist, founder and director of the Mountain Youth Jamboree. "Come along, little children, come along," is his famous quote. So apparently this building is dedicated to him. And this is now the entrance to the UNC campus. You can see up there is one of the dormitories. And there's some gardening infrastructure built up there into the woods. I think there's a couple greenhouses and composting bins up in that direction. There's another giant dormitory right up there through the woods. And the students cut through and walk from one part of campus to the other, right through here, through the edge of the botanical gardens. So this is all UNC. This is a botanical garden, not a park. We ask that you observe the following rules: no dogs or pets, no bike riding, push or lock at the bike rack, stay established, pet. Do not climb trees, do not walk on rock walls, Sporting games like football and soccer are not, frisbees are not allowed. There are city parks for these activities. No radio-controlled vehicles or drones. I'm glad I didn't bring my drone with me. Picnics are allowed, but no grilling, stoves, or fires. All species are protected. No picking or collecting of plants, berries, or insects or animals. Access streams down official paths only. So they do have a bunch of rules here to follow. So now we would enter the UNC property here, but there's a big sign that says keep out. So that's one of their greenhouse and horticulture areas. So there's a big horticulture program here at UNC, and that's one of the areas where they have classes and such. And the students actually cut right through here to go from one dorm and one section of campus to the other. This is one of the paths that they go down. Okay, we're going to go down to the creek. We'll see you down there. Okay, now we're back down at the stream, and here's another notice about the sewage leak. So definitely we're not going to go back and go in the water today. We're doing the trail along the stream now. We're going to look to our left for signage that identifies some of the specific plants in this park. This is a creeping phlox, Phlox stolonifera, in the phlox family, obviously. And the signage is better in this area than the rest of the park. This is a wild bleeding heart, Fumitori family, and you can see there's the remnants of the flower of the bleeding heart. We're here late in the year, so a lot of things have started to turn and are not in full bloom anymore. A lot of the plants are in shutdown mode for the fall-winter season. It's late September here in Asheville. The weather's starting to turn cooler. There's a moss pink phlox, Jacob's ladder family. That's a beautiful plant when it flowers. Here's a zigzag spiderwort in the spiderwort family. And here's a plaque that says the Garden Club of America Founders Fund Award 1970 was won by the Asheville Biltmore Botanical Gardens. Okay, that's a nice little award that this park has won. And again, there's some beautiful rock outcroppings here, and some beautiful little sculptures created by the rocks outcropping. Here's a stairway over here on the right where you can go down to the creek. A set of stone steps. A lot of students from UNC will sunbathe on the rocks here in the spring, specifically when the weather gets warmer, and they'll come down here for a break between classes or between exams and go for a swim and sunbathe on the rocks. And that's about it for the Asheville Botanical Gardens. A few more signages here. This is a Nevis' stone crop. This is a wild pink. This is an American alum root. This is an Eastern columbine, buttercup family. This is a Carolina spiny pod, dogbane family. So there is some more signage up here in this area. There's a classic rhododendron. I don't see the sign for it. Here's a crested dwarf iris. There's another plaque up on the rock. If I had a flower for every time I thought of you, I could walk through my garden forever. For the neighbors Fred, Mariella, and John. If I had a flower for every time I thought of you, I could walk through my garden forever. How do you like that for a beautiful poet? So we're going to end this here at the creek. That's one of the pools you can swim at when the water's high. All right, we'll see you at the other end of the botanical gardens. Here's a cool little corner of the botanical gardens. This little stone water fountain in here with lily pads and ferns. And the sculpture is a pair of giant hands holding a big metal cup. And is the cup half full or half empty? And then over here there's a memorial in memory of Bill Krause. And here behind is a beautifully tiled stone bench. With tiled, it looks like it's either jade or some kind of precious stone, or maybe ceramic tile, not sure, but it's very beautifully done inlay work of stone and precious stones. And then there's a maintenance shed over here and another bench with beautiful flowers inlaid in the stonework. Somebody did a beautiful job of creating these pretty benches for the botanical gardens. Okay, see you over at the visitor center.